Great. Welcome. Welcome, everyone, for today's open discussion. And the topic of discussion is keys to building self-confidence. What are the steps that we can take? What are the things that we need to consider if we are walking on the path of becoming more self-confident, and embodying that confidence, that power in ourselves. So, yeah. Now, what does it mean, to be self-confident, right? So, in simple, layman definition, self-confidence means accepting and trusting, one's own capabilities, one's own abilities, one's own skills to get something done, right? So that's the general definition of self-confidence that we will also, take in today's session, refer to that definition, right? So now there are two very important parts of developing self-confidence. The first part is what I like to talk the inside game. The other part, the second part, is what I like to call the outside game. Hmm? So both of these different parts are crucial and super important when it comes to self-confidence, right? And why? So basically, self-confidence as an inside game is about whatever blocks we have, majorly the part of the major portion of is it is overcoming the self-doubt part, right? The doubt that we have inside ourselves based on what we are bringing from the past situations. However, self-confidence is also something that we need to keep polishing, keep um, growing, keep uh, nurturing it, nourishing it every single day of our lives, right? And expand along with it. So it goes in these two different parts. So we'll look into both of these parts one by one. So let's talk about, the first part a little, which is the overcoming self-doubt part of self-confidence, right? So, whenever in our lives we are not able to trust ourselves, not able to, go ahead in life completely, knowing that I'll be able to handle this situation, then the question comes is why are we not able to do so, right? Because if we remember ourselves as small children, uh, we did not have this kind of a mindset that what if I'm not able to do this? What if I fail? We never used to think that way when we were born, right? If we wanted to get something, we'll just, without even thinking, just go and try to grab a thing. So there was no such rationality or, the logic part of things that whether I'm capable or not capable, I can do it or cannot do it, right? If we want to jump and catch something on air, we would just jump. Whether we are able to catch it or not, that's a different story. Hmm? So something happens in our life. We usually talk about the fears and insecurities part quite often, but something happens which tells us that we cannot do it. We are not capable of doing something, getting something done, achieving something, or whatever, right? So, one is a practical part of it, but the actual thing that keeps us stuck, that keeps us away from taking actions in life, from doing what we are supposed to do, is the fear part of it. That what if I make a mistake? What if I fail? What if um, other people judge me on this thing? What if it goes completely wrong, horribly wrong? Right. So we need to identify, because self confidence is something which is an which is a personal trait. It is linked to all the different areas of our lives. Now, it is not necessary for us that we feel doubtful in every area of our life. Maybe related to career, there was no wound created, right? But related to relationships, let's suppose there were. So we need to first identify that what are the areas where, we are having this kind of doubt in ourselves, right? So, firstly, bringing awareness is the most crucial thing. Then, moving forward and understanding the root cause and the kind of fears and insecurities that we have around, these areas of our life. Let's suppose relationship, right? So, what if I get abandoned? What if I get rejected? What if this person confronts me? What if there is a conflict and I'm not able to resolve it? What if I'm being questioned? What if I'm dominated? What if I'm not heard? What if I'm not loved back? I don't receive the love back. What are the things which are there inside us? And going to the root cause, having somebody to ask us the right questions is super, super, super important so that we can reach the right diagnosis of where this self doubt actually comes from. Or maybe for a lot of us, it is quite possible that we doubt ourselves in every area of our lives, everything, right? Be it work, be it handling money, be it personal, impersonal relationships, be it just going to a party and not feeling comfortable over there, feeling like an outsider, feeling like I don't connect to any other human, right? Any of these areas, being comfortable in your skin, having not so healthy relationship with the body, mm, not so healthy relationship with the mind, mm, all of these different areas. Maybe there is self doubt spread out in all of these different areas, and then we need to see that what were some of the defining moments, or what was the first defining moment where this struck to me, right? So that is a little bit of diagnosis work at the level of mind. Hmm. Then it comes to understanding the emotions part of things. That this self doubt, what are the emotions which are linked to this self doubt? And usually the emotions that come up are very simple emotions, which we call shame and guilt. Hmm? So, very, very, very much linked to this particular kind of pattern, which is the pattern of having self doubt. Right. So, recognizing the emotion and also recognizing the link of this entire story that I'm telling you, that how it is linked, at the level of mind, the emotions is it brought up, and every time you are going forward to do something, and in your entire body you start feeling sensations of uncomfortable sensations, and when you go deeper into it, they're either filled with guilt or filled with shame, any of these situations. Hmm? And overall, this entire situation bringing forward in front of us what? Some or the other kind of fear and insecurity. Hmm? So that's a little bit of a story about the first part of uh, self confidence part, the first part, which is overcoming the self doubt. Because if we don't build the foundation well, we have nothing to sustain, right? So this needs to be sustained, of course, later on. I'll talk about it. But first, this is about building and clearing the foundation. Because, if you have garbage in your utensil and you keep putting good food in the same utensil, even the good food is going to get spoiled, right? So it's very important if we have to use the utensil, which is us, which is our life, and what we create in life, and what energy we carry, how we think, how we bring ourselves forward. If we have to use this utensil, then we have to clean this utensil from inside first. So that, फिर उसमें हम जूस पी सकते हैं, पानी पी सकते हैं, दूध पी सकते हैं, whatever we want. Now, an even more important and interesting part of this clean up. Hmm? So, when we are growing up as children, so we are going to talk about the energetic part of this inside game. Hmm? And this is super, super, super important and least understood by majority of people. Okay. So at times, all of these things penetrate to our energy body very deeply. Hmm? And no matter how much we try to do the cleanup at the level of overcoming self-doubt, as well as, you know, at the mental level, at the emotional level, बहुत जोर से, हम कोशिश करते रहते हैं, करते रहते हैं, करते रहते हैं. And we realize कि कुछ है, there's something that just does not allow us to move forward. It's kind of, standing on the way, blocking on the way. There we start, a glimpse of seeing the impact of energy blocks. Because a lot of energy blocks get healed when we work at the level of mind and body and emotions, but not all of them. Now, there are two major energy centers which are linked to overcoming self doubt and building self confidence. What are those centers? So, the first center, the most important center is the Manipur center, hmm, where the work needs to happen. But another, uh, you know, mm, what should I say? Another point, another juncture where we need to stop before moving to the Manipur center and building our self confidence is the root chakra center, right? So the root chakra, the lowest of our seven, common centers we talk about, directly linked to safety, security, survival. So that's the survival chakra. Now imagine a person who does not feel safe, who does not feel secure, who does not feel stable, who does not feel, grounded. How is that person ever going to develop self confidence, which is the Manipur chakra issue, right? So, what happens as we are born? The root chakra is something that all of us are born with. It's the first chakra that comes into picture, that gets, activated as we come to life. Now, uh, if we are being raised in an environment where we don't feel safe, our survival is at stake, we have to maybe we feel poor, maybe we feel that I don't deserve it, I'm not worthy, I'm not taken care of, right? My life is not stable, any of these things. And the life foundation, the root, we see a tree, the health of the tree is dependent on the health of the root, right? Now the root is shaken. hmm? this gets absorbed in the brain, and now the other chakra starts coming up live, coming becoming more active as we grow up, even by age in our lives, right? So अभी फाउंडेशन ही हमारी इनसिक्योर और अनस्टेबल हो गई, सेफ्टी नहीं है, राइट? एंड आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट फिजियोलॉजिकल फिजिकल safety, the grossest form of safety. Or maybe, at times you were just so alone at home, you had nobody to talk to, you didn't have anybody available. At times we have emotionally unavailable parents, or, you needed something very basic, minimal, and you were like shouted on very badly as a child due to whatever reasons. Yeah. Not saying this from the angle of blaming your parents, they had their own situation, but that's just something that we absorb as small children. Now, this Manipur chakra comes online, hmm, and this is the chakra of self esteem, self confidence, personal power, hmm, where we feel powerful, that I can handle it, I can do something. But if the ground is shaken, there's no building to be built, on it, which is strong enough. Hmm. So these are the two energy centers where we actually need to work upon when it comes to doing the inside job. Hmm. Without working on these energy centers, Uh, mm, Overcoming self-doubt part of thing is not complete. Maybe it's not so deeply penetrated that it can be overcome at the level of mind and at the level of working at body and emotions at the energetic level. And we need to really understand both of these energy centers, connect with these energy centers, work with them, and clear them out, right? So that's, the part one side of thing, which is the overcoming self-doubt part. Hmm? Another side of thing is building self-confidence. So self-confidence is not something which is like, one day you just did some healing work and, now from next day onwards for the rest of your lives, you're going to feel confident in everything. Because life is going to throw challenges at you. Hmm? Every time a different one because it's a journey of growth and evolution. Hmm? That's the that's one part. But the second important part of it again comes back to the Manipur chakra that we were talking about. Why? Because out of all the seven energy centers, Manipur chakra, the solar plexus, is the center which is very, very action oriented. Hmm? So the strengthening of Manipur chakra at one level happens by clearing the energy center. But the actual activation, the more activation happens, proper balancing happens once we become action oriented and start taking actions in our real life. So not just, you know, um, doing all of these things, affirmations and journaling and, just saying all of these. Of course, those things are important. But it is also about when a situation comes to you, you take a step forward and you take action. Hmm? Maybe small actions, but you take action. So self confidence is also something that we need to brush upon, nourish, nurture every single day. Hmm? So very, very action oriented chakra, right? And on the second part of things, we need to, work on this thing that how we can nurture and nourish and, shine this every single day so that we can, the engine is started. Now we need to, kickstart it. And it applies on all the other chakras and all the other areas of our life as well. But self confidence is something. So, for an example, once you heal chakra, your safety chakra, there are not too many situations or things which can shake them shake it up like anytime. Of course, there can be situations in life where you will be required to you know work on that center a lot, but it's not as much in the intensity as the Manipur chakra, and so is not sacral chakra, so is not heart chakra. So the working of these chakras, hmm, they happen more inside. Now, the second part, which I'm talking about, which is maintaining this kind of every single day, then it requires us to work at the level of mind, at the level of being in that uh, place where we are aware, where we are practicing self-awareness, observing our thoughts and emotions, consciously making choices where we know that we can fall into the same traps. We consciously, without any judgment, restrain ourselves from the same behavioral addictive patterns of, same negative thinking habit patterns or, falling into the negativity bias and all of these things. Another thing is at this point of time, it comes to, using all of those tools and techniques that we have, which is maybe affirmations, maybe, visualizations, maybe, contemplation on this part, that what all things I have achieved in my life. So this plays, in fact, a very important role, because usually people have this mindset of focusing on things they have not done, things which have not yet come, hmm, instead of focusing on how far they have come from where they were. So this is the place where you wanted to reach maybe 2 years back. You have reached this place, right? And 2 years back, this was the dream. You have achieved the dream, but you don't feel grateful enough for it. You don't feel happy enough for it. You don't celebrate and enjoy your achievement enough. It's just done, it's taken for granted, and you move forward. So, consciously bringing your attention that I am working on this thing, I have achieved, this thing also, so that we can celebrate where we are while we, walk forward in our life. So celebrating ourselves, keeping that um, mindset where, which I like to call I'll handle it mindset. So just reminding yourself that I'll handle it, right? Staring at your eyes, connecting with yourself, knowing, just deeply, deeply, deeply knowing, because I've handled so many things in my life. I'll handle it. Right. So then it comes to, working at the level of mindset, energy work on a daily basis, maintaining. So basically, maintain. Hmm? Those are the two sides of building self confidence. First side of it is overcoming the self doubt. Second side of it, second part of it is maintaining and building the self confidence on a daily basis. So that was little bit on the conceptual, on the theory part of things. Um, Anybody has any question, particularly in this, or maybe anything else related in your life? So the stage is open. Any of you who wish to talk, you can just raise your hand and we'll have a discussion. I have a few more things to share, but I'll share while we all talk. So anybody? Okay. Nobody has anything to say. So probably I covered everything up, but I wouldn't know, guys. Tarun, Prerna, Akarma, anything you guys want to say on this topic? Yes, Prerna.
Hi everybody. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think yeah, you have actually summarized it very well. In fact, even from the point of view of the chakra, because I used to always think that when we are releasing many of our past conditioning, what happens is we don't take action. So vacant space has been created. I mean, we have wiped the slate clean, but then because we are not really taking action, so there's a tendency now to fall back and repeat the same story. We go on reinforcing the same story because action has not been taken. So a lot of people, they keep doing affirmations, they keep doing so many processes for releasing the old pain, old conditioning, old story, but simultaneously they are not writing the new story. They're not taking action. तो वो स्पेस फिर there is always that comfort zone or that victimhood which always felt very safe कि मेरे साथ ऐसा ऐसा हुआ तो now तो I also have a reason to not take action क्योंकि मेरा childhood ऐसा था क्योंकि इसने मुझे ऐसा बोला था because I was reprimanded this way. So when we become aware of many of our wounds, there is also that tendency now to make that as a valid enough excuse to not take action. So this is has been a very great realization for me only, that for a very long time I was working on releasing my old patterns, but I was doing nothing to move forward. I was doing nothing to write the new story. So I think this is something that you spoke from the point of view of chakra, which was really a bulb on moment for me. So thank you for that. Anything you want to say on this? And I have another one point to make.
No, no, I totally agree with you what you're saying, Prerna, because we have
Mm.
not built the new muscle. Usually, the tendency of the mind is to, settle back and fall down in the old patterns. So,
Hmm.
हमें side में, even if we're doing affirmations and all of these things, but we need to
Hmm.
keep in mind कि ये सारी चीजें हम, we become a living embodiment of these things. तो ये सिर्फ अंदर नहीं होते रहना चाहिए. ये चीज प्रैक्टिकली लाइफ में इम्प्लीमेंट करना, एंड इट कैन बी इन रियली स्मॉल थिंग्स, यू नो छोटी छोटी चीजों में, डेली लाइफ में इतने सारे सिचुएशंस वी सी where we can actually act from the space of personal power, right? So it has to be um, penetrated in, हमारे अंतर्मन में ये चीज पेनिट्रेट भी होनी चाहिए, एंड इतनी पेनिट्रेट होनी चाहिए कि अब हम उस स्पेस से एक्ट करें. वी स्टार्ट लिविंग दैट वे इंस्टेड ऑफ जस्ट नोइंग इट. सो वो नोइंग पे आके रुकना नहीं चाहिए, वो लिविंग बन जाना चाहिए. सो दैट्स वेयर द एंटायर सर्कल comes into picture. Yeah, so totally agree with you.
Yeah, wonderful. The other point which I wanted to make is that maybe this was not something that I was hearing even a few years back, but this is something that I hear very often these days from most of the people I'm interacting, even with the community, or almost all the people who have signed up for some kind of a coaching or pro bono coaching with me. Somewhere, what with whatever issue that they are struggling with, whatever challenge they have, they center it around this one question which they ask me. It starts with these words: will I ever? Okay, will I ever get married? Will I ever get this job? Will I ever come out of this relationship? Will I ever? So when they start their question with will I ever, so that itself is indicating that somewhere they don't believe in their capability, somewhere they don't believe that yes they can, and yes they wish to. So abhi bhi they are they're doubting the entire concept itself, ki will I ever be able to come out of it. So maybe today it looks very difficult, but as you said, people don't take into factor how far they've already walked on that path. If somebody has been stuck in a toxic relationship for many years, maybe it will not take maybe one coaching engagement or just one night's call for them to actually come out of it completely, but that one step, that okay, let me take steps, let me address this, let me work on this. So it's a journey that one has to take. But mostly I see people asking their questions centering around will I ever. So again the self doubt is very high, and that itself actually creates a lot of resistance, and eventually it becomes a self fulfilling prophecy ki dekha maine to bola tha, will I ever be able to do this, and whatever I predicted has come true. So and then they go on to say, my sense of intuition is very strong, I have intuitive capabilities, I could actually foresee this, that I will never be able to manifest this partner or get this job. So they ultimately they pat on their back for the wrong thing, and they say, yeah, this is my intuition told me this.
That's so true, Prerna. In fact, day before yesterday, I was having a conversation with one lady, and we were talking exactly about this thing. And the conclusion of the call was that, so basically, I was asking her this question, that why do you over give and over do in relationships, when you make new friends or new colleagues come in picture? So, uh, she was saying ki I overgive and overdo because I need to make sure that they validate me, accept me, and they don't leave me, right? And when she does this for a few weeks or maybe a month or 2 months, and then she's seeing that they don't reciprocate, with the same intensity in which she's giving, and they are just normal, they are just the way everything is normally behaving and everything, and she takes her foot back, and then she breaks off the relationship, doesn't talk to them, you know. kind of um, just breaking the relationship. So that's what I was telling her, ki, you overdo and overgive from this fear that people will leave you alone, reject you, not validate you, you know, and abandon you. But the point is that you end up creating situations before they can abandon you, you abandon them because you're not reciprocated the same way. So kind of, living in her own self-created prophecy over and over and over again. And she came for this particular issue that, why I don't have any relationships. But the point is that she herself moves out of the relationship. So ये ongoing एक cycle है which goes on and on and on.
Yes, yes. And ये उनको you know इसका ओनरशिप लेने में उनको काफ़ी टाइम लगता है.
Right. Mm. It takes a lot of courage uh, to just know that I can be wrong. So most of us prefer to be right instead of happy. We feel more safe living in our own self-fulfilling prophecies, and even if no even if you know regardless of how harmful they are or how negative they are or how much we don't want them, but they still feel safe because we know कि hush मतलब ठीक है, I don't have to enter the unknown zone. I don't have to change anything in my life. I can be relaxed and in my comfort zone, like for as long as I want. Anyway, yeah. Anything else you want to say on this, Prerna?
That's it for now. Maybe you can proceed with the remaining points also, or anybody else has anything else to add, please feel free.
Anything, anyone? Any questions? Anything you want to share?
Yeah, that sentence that प्रेरणा said ना कि will I ever be वो जो तुम बोल रही थी प्रेरणा. So when I was listening to it, I was thinking कि how could you respond to a person like that who's although he is saying will I ever, which sounds like a hopeless situation, and yet sitting in front of you and talking. So how does that even compute? तो अगर उन्हीं से ये बात पूछो तो
हाँ.
Could I say something? So,
yes,
hi,
sure.
uh, Anamika. When I started with the session, I had written, not for this session, but when I started with Anamify and you started with all these sessions online, there was this one thing that I had written and which I struggled all through my life with is that you just now spoke about overgiving. I am the younger one in the house, so my sister is elder. All through my life, because my dad passed away early, so after she got married, it was like everything what is to be done for from my mother's house, I've been doing. It was so difficult, and that I mean that is there on my head all the time that I am responsible. So this year after the sessions, I had for Diwali, I got some stuff, and my sister just mentioned that last year you had given a gift to my some in-laws, so I liked it. So I was determined this time not to give. So I bought it, I kept it, and I didn't give. And it was very difficult. And she didn't turn up for Diwali, but she came later. And just about few weeks back, she told me that you had given that gift. I wish from where did you buy that? So I told her from where I bought it, but I still didn't give. It looks very petty and it looks very small, but I can't tell you how much struggle I had to not do that and not get into that kind of a cycle again where it is because that's what I do when somebody says something. My mind starts with how do I solve it, Nobody's asking you to do all this, and then you feel upset because they never consider anything, and you're putting so much burden on them also. So, what I'm saying is, these are real issues, and if somebody is saying, and it looks very small, but right now I don't feel overly responsible or anything for anybody. I'm just practicing what I'm listening to all of you and whatever that I have learned so far. So, this is a very small thing. And another thing that since everyone is sharing, mine is that at work I am like 100%. I have no problems. I can take all the risks I can take. I can be as bold as I want. Somewhere down the line, at the personal level, somewhere that confidence has taken a beating. That I'm working on. So slowly, where you where you talk about these boundaries, which I was not so aware of earlier. So now I'm redefining those, I'm learning about it, and I'm putting it into practice. Thanks.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Lata. Uh, I mean, giving is good, but at times, when it comes to overgiving, we don't even consider this fact whether this other person needs it, they have asked for it, they require it or not. So we don't consider any of those points, and we give it from a very different space, from the space of obligation, right? So our space is the space of obligation, and we feel na कि हम ये करेंगे, then only we deserve to receive something. So जो एक healthy balance of giving and receiving होता है, वो नहीं आ पाता. And then we continue to give and give and give, and then of course we if we are overgivers, we have issues of receiving things as well, and then we feel that kind of a resentfulness. So yeah, yeah, good. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Lata. Anybody else?
Thank
Thank you. Okay, cool. So yeah, summarizing the conversation that we had today. So building our self-confidence works on these two different sides, right? One is the inside job of things where we heal the mind blocks, we give closure to the open wounds, we dissolve the unnecessary irrational fears and insecurity energy that is hanging around like a baggage around us. The second part of it, which is nourishing and maintaining and nurturing the self confidence on a daily basis, it's very important that you know um, how we live, how we bring the living embodiment of our personal power. क्योंकि power जो एक word है ना, इसका एक बहुत ही distorted version goes on in the society. So the moment we hear the word power, it uska na synonymous comes out as arrogance, aggression, pushiness, dominance. Uh, तो usually power का एक general mindset which people have around this word is not very healthy, right? So एक वो power होता है which is on the unhealthy side where you are controlling everything, manipulating the situation, harming other people, you're being inconsiderate to other people, you're becoming toxic, uh, you know you are pushing other people down or walking over them to establish power. That's the unhealthy side of power, right? But the healthy side of power, personal power, right, which is directly synonymous to self confidence, is you're not doing any of those things. You're not walking over people to prove your power. You know that you are powerful. You know that you're capable, not because it has nothing to do with other people. You are powerful, and so are other people. right? So realizing and coming to that space of personal power, discovering, reclaiming that part of us, and knowing that there is this sense of innate, power that we have within ourselves, that is not dependent on other forces, other people. It's just there inside us. Right. So connecting back to that power, developing a right relationship with this word power itself, right? Because until we tap into that space of personal power, we will not be able to feel confident in our own skin. And that includes accepting ourselves, healing our inner child, developing a right relationship with ourselves, reforming, reaffirming the self talk that we have ourselves, how we create every single day of our lives, what actions we take, what things we do, how we think, how we carry ourselves, what energy we emit, right? And taking it, developing it, nurturing it one day at a time, right? Compounding, kind of a compounding effect, because one day, 7 days create a week, perfect, good 7 days create a week, good weeks create months, months create years, and likewise, we move forward. We focus on what we achieve and how we grow every single day. Focus over there, accepting that, okay, where I need to improve, I will improve, whatever skills, whatever capabilities, abilities that I need to develop slowly and gradually. I build upon it layer by layer, develop all of those things. What we say to ourselves, right? So that, we can be in that energy. How we feel, so that we can be in that energy. How we intend in our day. So another thing is the power, tapping into the power of our intention, right? The intention to dissolve these imprints, the intention to rewrite the new imprints, right? Rewrite the new healthier forms of beliefs that we want to carry, which supports us, supports other people, supports life, everybody that we touch. And slowly we move on this journey of building confidence in ourselves, right? So that's the beauty of Manipur chakra. That's the beauty of solar plexus chakra. The more we do it, the more we activate it, the more we take small actions every single day, and we also acknowledge those actions, acknowledge how far we have come, the more we strengthen this self-esteem. So yeah, those are a few more pointers that I wanted to say on that part. So yeah, that's that from my side. Anybody else wants to ask anything, say anything? If nothing, then we'll wrap up today's call. Cool. Okay. Cool. We'll wrap up today's call then, guys, and I'll see you all in the next session.
Thank you, Anamika. Thank you for a wonderful
Thank you
session.
so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening ahead. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anamika.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.